Look, folks, stop scrolling for the next 15 seconds. I'm not here to sell you junk or tickle your algorithms. I've seen supply chains tighten up faster than my belt after Thanksgiving, and prices on real iron climb higher than a politician's promise. If you're still waiting for the perfect moment to buy tools that actually work when the grid goes dark, you're already too late. I'm cutting through the marketing hype, brother. We're digging into 8 practical firearms, the working man's rifles, that prove performance isn't about the price tag. This is what veterans and real shooters rely on, not some tactical paperweight. FN SCAR 17S. This here is the heavy hitter, the end of the line when things get serious. If you're looking for a rifle that feels like it was designed by people who actually finished the fight, you start with the FN SCAR 17S. It steps into the ring armed with 7.62 NATO, and the chassis screams, "I'm ready for whatever." This isn't some lightweight rifle built for plinking cans. It's built to take serious abuse and keep cycling when everything else has choked. Its modular design is proven in combat, making it damn versatile. The handling is surprisingly good for a 7.62 platform. The balance tips toward the receiver group, which helps manage the blast, letting you get back on target quicker than you'd think for a dedicated battle rifle. Now, the recoil is energetic, not brutal, provided you run the right stock and muzzle device, but you'll feel it in the shoulder. If you're stacking up heavy rounds, plan on dialing in your cheek weld and practicing one-handed reloads so fatigue doesn't catch you flat-footed. The 2-stage trigger, while not a match-grade unit, is predictable and functional, which is what matters when your knuckles are white. Where this rifle shines is its legendary durability, ambidextrous controls, and a short-stroke piston system that requires low maintenance and shrugs off imperfect conditions, keeping the bolt cleaner. Where it loses points, the high price tag and the weight when compared head-to-head with modern mid-sized precision bolt guns. For a service weapon that can double as a capable long-range rifle, it's an easy call. Field tip: mount a modest 2 to 12 power optic. Tune the gas regulator if you can, and run a muzzle device that kills muzzle climb without wrecking your sight picture. While the SCAR 17S gives you battle-proven reliability in a semi-auto platform, the next rifle gives you pure, heavy-hitting precision without the pretentious price tag. Ruger Precision Rifle, think long-range accuracy without the high-dollar attitude. The Ruger Precision Rifle shows up ready to work, built entirely around long-range functionality. You get a heavy, free-floated barrel, geometry that lets you adjust your cheek weld perfectly, and a chassis designed to take the guesswork out of your sight picture. You'll see this rifle most often chambered in 6.5 CREEDMOOR for distance work, or 308 for old-school proven ballistics. Both configurations speak the same language, repeatable groupings when you do your part. On the bench, it feels stable and predictable. The sheer weight soaks up most of the felt recoil, which is vital for practicing your follow-through shots and actually reading the wind corrections you just made. It's heavy if you plan on hiking all day with it, but set it on a bag or a bipod, and it gives you calm shots and an easy wind reading. A major selling point is the adjustable Ruger Marksman trigger, which allows for fine-tuning your break weight. The downsides? The muzzle blast can be concussive without the right brake attached, and the chassis ergonomics, a bit squared off, aren't everyone's favorite for getting into the gun fast. Field tip: get your cheek weld and butt pad spacers dialed in ahead of time, and pair it with a medium power optic. Remember, nothing on this rifle hides bad fundamentals, it only magnifies them. While the Ruger Precision Rifle is built for stacking groups on paper, the next rifle is the tool you use when you need to focus on the basics without wasting high-cost ammo. Almuio, Savage RXR22. If you want to sharpen your fundamentals without bleeding your checking account dry, start with something that actually encourages practice. The Savage RXR22 is that kind of tool. Chambered for 2.2 long rifle, this is built like a no-nonsense semi-automatic. It's the rifle you hand a brand new shooter and trust that they will learn sight alignment, trigger control, and follow-through without the intimidation of heavy recoil or expensive ammo. The fit and finish are surprisingly good for the price point. It feeds reliably from the magazine, has iron sights you can actually use out of the box, and a stock that doesn't feel like cardboard in your hands. On the range, it rewards practice of the basics. You can run strings, track your groups, and test optics or triggers without worrying about shoulder fatigue. The major drawback? It's rimfire. Expect occasional light strikes and sensitivity to dirty ammunition. Plus, if you need true long-range accuracy, the 22 LR has its limits. Where it wins is high volume of training, low-cost practice, and teaching sight picture in real-world conditions without the pain factor. Field tip: run decent match-grade 22 LR ammunition for grouping work. Keep those magazines clean and use it as your primary option for snap drills and transitioning to centerfire without the pain factor. While the Savage RXR-22 hammers home the importance of trigger squeeze using cheap practice, the next rifle takes that philosophy and applies it to serious long-range mountain hunting where every ounce counts. Proof Research Tundra TX. If you want the absolute lightest rifle that still functions like a serious precision tool, the Proof Research Tundra TX is where that discussion starts, and usually it ends. This gun marries a titanium receiver with a carbon fiber wrapped barrel and a stock that refuses to get in the way of accuracy. The whole concept is to go further while carrying less weight. You're trading serious dollars for a rifle that won't break your back on a long stock, yet it still prints tight groups when the wind allows you to shoot. How does it handle recoil? Sharp, smooth on the shoulder, and with noticeably less muzzle rise than you'd expect from something this light. That carbon barrel damps vibrations well, and the titanium action sheds ounces without feeling flimsy. You still get that solid bolt feel. Don't let the word light trick you into thinking this is a toy. This is a serious platform for hunting and mountain carry. Expect sub-minute of angle potential when you do your part and feed it decent match or premium hand-loaded ammunition. Where it excels is mountain hunting, long shots where you need optics and a bag, and situations where every single ounce matters to the hike-out. Where it gives ground is the steep price, and factory ammunition with variable grain weights will expose limitations that a heavier barreled rig would hide. Field tip: spend time dialing in your stock spacers to secure your eye alignment. Run a moderate brake compatible with a suppressor if it's legal where you live, and test 3 to 5 factory loads to find the exact ammunition your specific chamber likes. That combination is the ticket to reliable sub-minute of angle performance in the high country. While the Tundra TX is the pinnacle of lightweight precision carry, the next rifle is the AR you buy when you want obsessive refinement instead of something just assembled off a spreadsheet. Ruger 1022. If we are talking about value per dollar spent, you physically cannot have this conversation without starting right here. This isn't just a beginner's rifle, it's an American institution. The Ruger 10122 has probably sent more .22 LR lead downrange than any other civilian semi-auto in history, and there's a mechanical reason for that. It all comes down to the action and that legendary rotary magazine. Unlike the single-stack stick magazines you see on most rimfires that stick out and snag your gear, Ruger designed a 10-round flush-fitting rotary system that feeds cartridges incredibly reliably. The steel feed lips are built into the magazine itself, meaning every time you swap mags, you're refreshing a critical piece of the feed geometry. That's clever engineering. Out of the box, you get an 18.5-inch hammer-forged barrel mated to the receiver with a unique V-block system. That 2-screw V-block design is what makes this platform so modular. You can swap that barrel yourself in about 5 minutes with a simple hex wrench. The receiver is cast aluminum, keeping the weight practical at about 5 pounds, perfect for shooting unsupported or carrying through the woods all day. The factory trigger? No, it's a bit heavy, usually breaking around 6 pounds, but because the internal trigger housing is a self-contained cassette, you can drop in a Ruger BX trigger or polish the sear yourself for competition-grade performance. Whether you are hunting small game or running steel challenge drills, the 1022 runs like a sewing machine. It's the gold standard for a reason. Now, that standard is rimfire, but the next rifle is what you need if you want to swap semi-auto speed for surgical accuracy. Savage Mark Segund FVSR. We're heading back to rimfire, but we're trading semi-auto speed for surgical accuracy. The Savage Mark II FVSR is arguably the biggest sleeper in the gunsmith world right now. If you want to clip the wings off a fly at 50 yards, this is the tool. The SR in the name means suppressor ready. This model ships directly from the factory with a heavy fluted 16.5-inch barrel that is threaded 1/2 by 28 at the muzzle. That heavy barrel profile is key because it adds rigidity, meaning less barrel vibration when the bullet travels down the bore, translating to tight, ragged groupings on paper, shot after shot. But the real magic here is the trigger. Savage uses their AccuTrigger system, which is user adjustable. It has that blade safety design, similar to a Glock, but it lets you adjust the pull weight down to a super light level without compromising safety. When you press it, there's no creep, just a clean break, like a glass rod. The stock is a lightweight synthetic material which, frankly, is its only weak spot. It feels a little hollow, but the action makes up for it. The bolt handle is oversized, giving you plenty of leverage to cycle the action quickly. When you pair this with a decent rimfire suppressor and subsonic ammunition, the sound of the firing pin striking the rim is louder than the actual shot. It's an absolute tactical treat for under $300. While the Savage Mark II FVSR is a quiet precision marvel, the next rifle is the budget AR that lets you run hot loads without selling a kidney. Ruger American Predator. We're shifting gears to a bolt rifle that embarrassed the rest of the industry when it first dropped. The Ruger American Predator proves you don't need to spend $2,000 to hit targets out at 800 yards. This essential rifle basically killed the stigma of the cheap rifle because it simply outperforms hardware that costs 3 times as much. The secret sauce here is Ruger's power bedding system. Inside the stock, there are stainless steel V-blocks molded directly into the polymer. The receiver drops into these blocks, which completely free floats the barrel and eliminates the slack and flex you usually get with plastic stocks. That rigidity is crucial for accuracy. The Predator model specifically comes with a heavier sporter-style barrel that is threaded 5/8 by 24 for a suppressor or muzzle brake. That helps with heat dissipation, so your groups don't open up as fast as they would with a thin barrel. It's also chambered for serious long-range cartridges like 6.5 Creedmoor and .308 Winchester. Then you have the adjustable Ruger Marksman trigger. It has a release lever in the center of the shoe, much like the Savage we just discussed, which prevents the rifle from firing unless your finger is perfectly positioned. You can adjust this weight down to a crisp 3 pounds. When you combine a free-floated barrel, a stiff action, and a light trigger, you get sub-minute of angle accuracy. That's groups under 1 inch at 100 yards, with factory ammunition. That is performance we used to have to pay a gunsmith for. While the Ruger American Predator delivers bench rest level precision for the price, the next item is the most utilitarian folder-in-half carbine that finally fixed its primary design flaw. Savage A22 A and B Series Timber Tactical. If you want something that teaches patience, fundamentals, and real trigger discipline with minimal stress on your wallet or your shoulder, put the Savage A22 and the B Series Timber Tactical at the top of your list. These rimfire options aren't toys, they are exercises with legs. The semi-automatic A22 lets you chain shots and work transitions, while the bolt-action options in 17 HMR give you a taste of higher velocity rimfire accuracy. Together, they form a training progression that's hard to beat for building real skills. How do they shoot? They are forgiving, repeatable, and ridiculously cheap to run. The A22 design minimizes perceived recoil, making recoil management practice effortless. The B Series gives you the feel of a bolt action with rimfire ballistics that teach you elevation correction and calling for wind. Neither one replaces a centerfire firearm for terminal performance, but both will sharpen your eye, your trigger hand, and your ability to read the wind and track groups. Many Savage models, including some B Series, incorporate the acclaimed AC trigger, allowing for safe fine-tuning. Where they win is training value per round. High-volume practice without physical cost and real-world utility for small game hunting and skill development. Where they concede. Don't expect centerfire ballistics or absolute long-range capability. Field tip. Use quality match 22LR ammunition for your grouping work. Keep those magazines and extractors clean to prevent rimfire dirt quirks. Bounce between the semi-auto and bolt platforms so you learn follow-up shots and deliberate precision in the same season. And there you have it. 8 rifles that prove performance isn't about the price tag, but about the engineering you get for your dollar. Some are light, some are powerful, and some are just outstanding sleepers, but every single one brings something real to the table when you actually get out there and run them. If you've run any of these platforms, tell me what you think below. Did the trigger break clean, or was it gritty junk? Tell me which one you trust most when the SHTF sirens start wailing. Now, subscribe for more no-nonsense analysis and keep practicing those fundamentals.